Hello and welcome back to the car studio. Today I'm going to be talking about how I manifested my partner Tommy, how I manifested a man more or less. And I'm going to dive right into it because, why not? So I actually had been manifesting him for a really long time. The main driver of this manifestation was that I was journaling and I was envisioning all of the time what life would be like, what it would feel like to be in this relationship, what this person looked like, what he, sounded like, all of these different things. So the two main drivers, number one, I was journaling about it. I was constantly reminding myself of who this person was, what he was like, how he, acted around me, with me, what he said to me, all of these things. And then I was envisioning, I was sitting there. I don't want to say meditating because it wasn't really meditating. It was literally I plugged in my AirPods and I played some meditative style of music. And I would literally see, I would imagine, him. So it was really driven by those two main things. And I did it for years. Don't get me wrong, he did not come to me overnight. Tommy took probably I broke up with Steve in 2016, 2015, 2016. And then I didn't meet Tommy until 2019, almost 2020. So it had been 3 years that I was journaling. I was finding myself. I was trying to find, who I would be best suited with and who would be best suited for me. And it took a long time because I did other things in between. So I moved out from the East Coast out west, and then I moved from Colorado across the ocean, across the Atlantic Ocean to Europe. I lived in the Czech Republic for a year. And then when I came home from Europe and I came back to New Jersey, then I actually was here for about a year until I decided to kind of go back into what I truly loved. And that was really when I came home from Europe. I remember there was a day and I was sitting at my mom's kitchen table. And I was obviously because I had spent all my money in Europe, I was broke as fuck. So I was okay, I have to get myself back together. I have to get my finances back together. I have to get my life back together. And I was the first thing that came to me is, what do I love? What do I love to do? What do I love being involved with? What do I love? And that love is still the very same to this day. It might not look the same as it did back in 2018, 2019, but it's still the same. I love rowing. I love crew. I love the sport. And I was sitting at my mother's kitchen table and I was looking out of the kitchen window and what do I love? And when I answered that question, I was I love rowing. I love crew. Then I was okay, that's what I have to go back to. So that fall or spring, I forget which, I think it was a fall, I went to a club. I found a club. And it was far away, don't get me wrong, but it was not the same club that I was involved with when I was in college. So I signed up to start rowing there again. And then I met somebody who was hey, we have a coaching position open. Do you want to coach? And I was yeah, I want to coach. So I got involved in coaching crew. And that is ultimately how I met Tommy, because I coached for a rival team. And he was my team's rival. So we were rival coaches, and it's kind of this really cute love story of how we met each other coaching for rival teams, and then we eventually started seeing each other, and then here we are, and Penelope's here. So that's how I manifested Tommy. It took a long time. It definitely does not take 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 months. It almost took 5 whole years. And that's okay, because I would rather it take time and be the right person where we have similar interests and we share, similar points of view than to be somebody else who's completely radically different, who doesn't believe the same things, who doesn't share the same ambitions or aspirations, and just we have nothing in common at all. I would rather it be, I'm going to wait 5 years to find somebody who's going to be like so interested in the same things that I'm interested in. We have something in common. We believe, you know, the same things. We have the same perspectives and points of view as each other. So I'm glad that it ultimately took 5 years, but at the same time, like I said, manifestation, it like, sometimes it's quick, sometimes it's not, but ultimately, like, it took me a long time. I also had to figure my shit out too, and that I think was probably a big portion of that whole chunk of time, because I had to figure out like who I was, how I was going to be, what I valued, you know, like what I was going to find important, what I was going to stand for and what I wasn't going to stand for, where my boundaries were. And I wouldn't have figured any of that out if I didn't take the time to travel or explore who I was or to do the things that I wanted to do. So all in all, it was good that it took 5 years, but at the same time, you know, it took 5 years. Like, I wish it didn't take 5 years sometimes, but ultimately, I'm glad that it took 5 years. So if you're looking to do the same thing for yourself and manifest a relationship of any kind, number one, figure you out. You got to figure you out first. Number two, have the vision, keep the vision, hold the vision. And then number three, act on the things that you love, because it's kind of like what somebody told me, one of my coaches told me, what you appreciate appreciates. So if you love something, you appreciate it, right? If you do the things that you love, then the love is going to appreciate in your life. So when you're involved with what you love, then love is going to come back to you. So think about that too. If you're doing activities or you're taking part in things that you don't love, probably time to nix them out of your schedule. If you're looking to manifest a certain result, that is. There are other caveats to all of these things, by the way, but we're not going to get into that in this video. Different story for a different day. This video is mainly so that if you're looking to manifest that relationship, you can do so. I figured this would be a good change of pace on my channel, because that is what my channel started out about. And that is what I actually have the most experience with myself. But then I had, you know, all of this other experience around social media start to pop up. And I kind of manifested that for myself as well. But I don't know that I manifested the results that I'm getting or have previously gotten for that. So again, that's another story for a different day. But be sure, if you haven't already yet, to subscribe and turn on your notifications. And let me know if you have manifested anybody or any relationship for yourself. If it was a good relationship, if it was a bad relationship, down in the comment section. And be sure to also, if you are interested in figuring out how you can start to get your message out there and stack cash, I'm going to be hosting a Stack Cash Masterclass. That's going to be April 13th. I know that this video is a day late. That's okay though. I'd rather be a day late than $1 short. So even though I'm pretty sure that's not how the saying goes, but that's okay. I don't really care. I did it. I put the video up. It might not be on Wednesday. It might be on Thursday, but that's fine. All right. I'm going to stop talking to myself, and I'm going to stop talking to the camera. I'm going to go, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.